The state's proposed rule serves no substantial law enforcement interest. They could have easily got warrants. And there is no source for the supposed right of one occupant to admit the police to search a home over the objection of a co-op.
Our main objective for being here is for the Fourth Amendment right of Mr. Randolph's being violated by his wife, Mrs. Randolph. I guess we'll just open it up for questions.
All right, Mr. Scott Jones spoke about Matlock a lot and about not needing the person that actually lives there or is being suspected to actually give consent. Could you explain how Matlock would work for your case and how does it apply to your objectives here? Just give us a summary of Matlock, just very rough.
Matlock wasn't present at the time of the search. The police, yeah.
Matlock was not present at the time of the search, but in our case, Mr. Randolph was there in the presence of, was present at the time of the search. And that was pretty much, not the whole of the case, but that's what Matlock was Mr. Matlock not being present when his personal space was being searched.
The same question I asked Mr. Jones. If it really truly is a tie here, one being yes, one being no, why say no? Why listen to no instead of listen to the yes? Because
they were not sharing the same rooms. They were sharing the same house, but not the same rooms.
Why does that matter?
Because in the legal sense they were not separated, but in marital sense they were. Like, not spiritual.
Are they legally separated?
No.
They were
We don't deal with spiritual matters in the Supreme Court. We deal with legal matters. And legally, were they separated?
It's the first house.
Were they legally separated?
No.
Yes or no question?
No,
Thank
they were
you.
not legally separated.
Ask yourself, why was she back in the house?
To retrieve personal belongings.
How long has she been there?
I believe it was 36 hours since she first arrived that she informed the police, called the police.
Was she a co-inhabitant of the house? Was she inhabiting the house?
No.
Really?
Why do you say no?
I say no because she was in the process of moving out and she'd been living with her parents.
Did the police officer know this at the time?
No. Well,
Was it knowledge of the police officer at the time that she'd been not living in the building other than...
And she stated that she had just represented to get her belongings to the police officer prior to the search. And she was only there to grab her few items over several days to take them to Canada.
honestly, don't know.
They're not correct.
Does it matter if the police officers are judging based on absolute fact or their opinion? Are the police required to have an absolute certainty and have facts to base up their decisions like this on?
They do need facts, and
because I hold on, Mr. Jones is brief here. Let me tell you exactly. Speaking of what the officers are allowed to do based on their own beliefs, and that they could turn out to be wrong and they'd still be all right. Is that not?
what page is that?
Great question.
They're at the top.
Here we go. The question of consent to enter is based against an objective standard looking at whether all the facts available to the officer at the moment would warrant a man of reasonable caution to believe that the consenting party had authority over the premise. So, at that moment.
Can you clarify that, Mr. Ball?
I think what he's saying is, at that moment, from what the police officer knew the facts were to be, he had that police officer reasonable belief to search that home.
It was hearsay.
She had said he was using her.
But isn't that probable cause? We've established earlier that probable cause is hearsay can be probable cause in a search.
Yes.
So hearsay doesn't matter in this case. Did he, based on the facts that he knew at the time, have probable cause to conduct the search? That's the question before us at hand. with the information he had, did this officer have reasonable belief enough to conduct a search of the home?
But the officer could have easily gone and gotten a warrant first.
Yes or no? That's
But it's how we're asking, yes or no to the question.
Reasonable cause, yes, but it was off hearsay. And she could
No,
have
yeah,
said it
reasonable cause. He had reasonable cause to search the house.
but it was after hearsay because, and the wife could be saying this out of, or could be saying it out of spite, and she could have.
To get back at him for their house.
I'm not sure it's relevant that they're
During marriage, when, if you were a police officer in your UCC marriage, when you assume that they were living in the same house?
Yes.
And
especially both of the marriage are present.
if you were walking down the street and you knew that two people were married, would you assume that they were living in the same bedroom?
Yes.
However, didn't she say this is where his bedroom is?
Yeah,
to
she
the police
explicitly said his rooms and.
Yeah, she explicitly
She didn't have
differentiated
her
between
So
two
you
separate
had
rooms.
reason to believe they were living in the same house, and that she occupied the house, but he did not have reason to believe that they shared the same room.
Okay.
Explain how the police saw the contraband.
Mrs. Randolph showed them into Mr. Randolph's private room, and apparently, I saw it there in plain view.
Was it left out? Was it in the open? Was it in a drawer? What was it?
The straw was found in the waste basket. Yeah. And, and he found wire.